How come these two comics have the same interiors, but different covers? These are called variant covers. The first one was in 1986 when John Byrne created two covers for the Man of Steel #1. This was just meant to test another logo, but they found that collectors bought both. So they tried more. In the 90s with the big comic boom, they were all over the place. The best-selling comic of all time to this day is X-Men #1 from 1991. It sold 8.1 million copies. A big part of that was its 5 variant covers. A lot of collectors bought all 5. Now, in the big crash in the mid-90s, variants kind of went away. Marvel almost went bankrupt because they added a lot of inventory they didn't sell. And a lot of that was variants. After that, they were rare, special occasions. But now they've made a huge comeback. Let's take a current running series like Nightwing. For Nightwing 136, there were 5 covers. When the issue was originally being made, the artist creates a cover. That is meant to be the main cover or the A cover. This is the cover you're going to see everywhere. On shelves, if you Google it, any digital comics platforms. Then DC commissions other covers from other artists. In this case, there were 4 others: B, C, D, and E. And for most current comics, you'll get 3 to 5 variants each. As you can see here, there's one that doesn't have a logo. That's called a virgin cover. I've got an example here, Power Rangers versus TMNT. As you can see, it's all art, so you can really enjoy the art without any covers or logos on it. This one's actually a little different because it's shiny. That's called a foil variant. In this case, it's actually called a virgin foil variant. There's also blank covers or illustration covers. These are meant to be taken to cons and get drawn on by artists. But not only that, see, there's ones called retail exclusives. That's incentivizing the comic shop to buy a lot of copies. There's 1 in 25s, meaning for every 25 copies of that comic they buy, they get one special exclusive one, which they can sell for more money. At my local comic shop, they put it out on a table near the front and charge anywhere from $10 to $20 for it, depending on the comic. Now, this can go up to 1 in 50s, 1 in 100s, 1 in thousands, depending on how popular they expect the comic to be. They're also con exclusives. Now, let's talk about what I call variant overload. When there's a #1 or a special occasion or an anniversary, publisher gets a lot of artists to make variants because they think it's going to sell. This past week, Stephanie Phillips and Lee Garbrett's Daredevil #1 was released, and there were at least 25 variants. When that happens, they actually abandon the alphabet system and just go by artists. This is the Peach Momoko variant. This is the Daniel Warren Johnson variant. Now, the reason there were so many variants? Blind bags. Blind bags are a relatively new thing in comics. It's kind of like a Pokemon card pack, except you only get 1 issue in it. In it was the promise of really rare, one-of-a-kind covers. There's even ones hand-drawn by Charlie Cox and John Bernthal. So what are your thoughts on this practice? I think it's super cool. Some of my favorite comic covers are variants. I don't have a lot of single issues. I like to trade paperbacks. So when I do get a copy, it is a variant. However, I think it's getting out of hand. I don't like gambling at all. And I think blind bags are gambling. I've seen people buy 30, 40 blind bags for 1 issue. And sure, that cover drawn by Charlie Cox or John Bernthal might be in there, but you're likely not to get it. And you're still spending $50 and getting 10 issues of the same comic. Let me know your thoughts on it. Follow Circle Mix Live.